I am that I am, Magamus Saint Germain of Sovereign Domain. Dear Shilama, here we are for our fourth live session, our fourth OMMUM meeting. I welcome you all to one more discussion of very important topics in your awakening process, in your ascension process, in your spiritual path in this life that we really wish that might become with time your last lifetime on this planet. Now, in the past OMMUM meetings, I have discussed about my qualifications as a master, the things that I'm really fond of while interacting with humans. We have discussed about this new term for egregores, which is a Plankpatipa or Plankpadipa, if we would pronounce it with a very good American or English accent. You choose which one of the two it is. In the past. In the last OMMUM meeting, we discussed about the two harvests, a very complex subject, by the way. Not all of you got what I was really referring to as I was going through all the implications with understanding what this topic of two harvests really mean for awakening humans in this specific period of time on Earth. Now, today I want to sidetrack us a little bit and go into something that has come over many of you, and that it's a subject that should be looked into more deeply, because it can really affect your path and it can really take you out of your path. So the word of the day is exhaustion, burnout. I will keep it to these two words, exhaustion and burnout. So take a deep breath and really feel my words and really feel the energy that is behind my words. It's very important for me to address this matter, this issue of exhaustion, because so many of you are being affected by it. The ones, the veterans, if I can call you like that, the veterans in the path have felt it. The ones just starting on the path are feeling it, and the ones that have walked like some chunk of the path are also having to deal with it. So why does exhaustion come along at a certain point in the path? Why would any of you invite exhaustion as an experience, part of your path, a part of your experience in the awakening process? Very simple. Is the answer lies in the truth that many of you are not aware when exhaustion is coming about, when exhaustion is being planted. If I could use a reference to the last meeting where we talked so much about planting, sowing, harvesting. So many of you are not aware when seeds of exhaustion are also going into the ground of your energy, if I could speak figuratively. It's just like imagine like that you have a pouch with many seeds. Imagine that you went to a store and you bought like a pouch with the seeds that you want to plant in your harvest, where you're gonna cultivate what you want to grow, and together with the good seeds, they are actually your food, so they are bad seeds, if I can call them that. And some of the kinds of these figurative seeds are exhaustion and stress and doubt and other horrible stuff that can happen to you, or that you can allow to be happening to you on the path. So the reality is this: you don't notice when exhaustion is being planted like right alongside with the other good seeds that you wish that in time may sprout and may become into a good harvest. But how does exhaustion come about? I mean, why would you have a pouch with good seeds and with bad seeds? Why anyone, like in this figure of speech as I'm using it, would go to a figurative store and would buy a pouch with bad and with a pouch with good and also with bad seeds? Very simple. You are the observer. So whatever you do in your life, in the inner worlds or outside of yourself, whatever you do in your life, you are the constant observer, even if you're not aware that you are being the observer. So whatever you do, you imprint on that thing, on that action, on that situation, what is already there right before you starting anything meaningful. So what I'm trying to say, what I'm meaning by that is that before you buy the figurative pouch with seeds that would come with good and bad seeds, you are the pouch yourself. So before going to the figurative store, you are filled with bad and with good seeds within yourself. Seeds that you have stored from other lifetimes, from other experiences in the universe, if I can call it like that. So this time you go there, you want to plan your harvest, or you want to you use a section of your harvest to plant something new, and you ask for a pouch of seeds, and right there, the one that is chosen by you, the seller, the one that goes there to the shelf and picks one up for you, he picks just that one pouch that has mixed seeds in it, and then you go back home with a pouch that is not sorted out, just to retain on it, just to have on it the good seeds. So that's the origin of exhaustion. So exhaustion comes right from within you. It's a sign that you're not allowing enough time for yourself, that you're not taking up space from other things in your life and using this space or these moments to concentrate on you. And what I mean by concentrate on you, what I'm exactly meaning here is that really stopping even spiritual work that is related with the unfoldment of your spiritual path, with the unfoldment of your enlightenment, even this type of work, and concentrating just on your breath, just on the I am, just on the I exist, just on the inner world and all the things that are fluctuating around it, like hovering over it, like within it. So this is the thing. Exhaustion comes from extreme externalization. So the ascension path, the path of enlightenment can be can be very, very filled with many activities, with many processes, if I can call it. There's much to do, but there's much to do as long as you don't forget the relevance of what I'm gonna say next. There is much to do as long as there is much to become. There is much to be. So some of you start getting concentrated on there's much to do. I have to tell others about ascension, about this path. I have to work with my blank paripa, so we can, make our borders wider, and then more people can resonate with this message. And maybe if I'm associated with the work of a specific master, I have to listen from the master's feet, what is being said, what is being shared at this current moment, and I have to read certain books, and I have to do the practices. But also I have to translate the practices into other languages, so people can also benefit from it. So of course there are a lot of activities on the ascension path, and it would be good that you would have a life completely filled with things that are connected with this path, but not if you're disregarding, or if you're not regarding the time that you would have to spend with yourself as the most important of all of these processes. So exhaustion comes from within, from seeds that you have acquired a long time ago, or during a certain point of the path, and you didn't notice that they were bad seeds, and maybe you didn't plant them in your figurative soil or place of cultivation, but you left them, you left those seeds there on a figurative shelf within your heart, and bad me and bad you, that you left these seeds on a shelf that was within your heart and not within your mind, or in any other part of your being. And then although they're just there on the shelves, they start sprouting, they start growing, and right alongside with good seeds being cultivated in other parts of your being, and then you start feeling this almost this spiritual motion sickness, this tiredness, this what I'm calling it, this exhaustion, and coupled with that, you're just so busy with your spiritual work, with your spiritual life, and guess what? The ironic part of that is that you're so focused on your spiritual life at the same time that you are forgetting the most important aspect of your spiritual life, that it is your spiritual life aside or apart, or not compartmentalized, or not related directly to the work that you perform, or that you do, or that you create on the outside world, for the outside world. Do you understand what I mean? So what I want to state with all of that, many of you are forgetting. Many of you are really forgetting. I will rephrase that. Many of you are getting confused. Many of you are confusing your spiritual life as portrayed, as shown, as seen, as created on the outside world, as being the same with your spiritual life that lives on, and that has to be maintained, and that has to stay functional, and that has a real desire and a real need to have your focus on it all the time that exists just exclusively within. Do you understand that, Shiloma? So I'm not saying that you cannot be busy on your outside spiritual life, on the spiritual life that you have built for yourself, or that you have agreed on to participate on the outside world with the other fellow commoners of the spiritual path with you. I'm just saying that work on the spiritual life that manifests for yourself outside in the exterior world without ever forgetting, never forgetting of the one that propitiated, that made sure that made a reality the one that you live outside right now. So exhaustion comes from bad seeds within yourself and from not putting more effort, but putting more focus on the effort that you're doing on the outside aspects of the spiritual life that you lead, them on the aspects that should control all. That should be the maintainer, that should be the manager of all the parts of the spiritual life that is the one within. So this is not a long OMMUM meeting, but and I don't want this fourth OMMUM meeting to be very long. But because I don't want to entertain you with many concepts in this one. That's not the purpose. I want this fourth OMMUM meeting to be short, to be precise, to be very straightforward, to go directly to the matter of the issue that has befallen so many of you. So I know I have given you, Charlie has been giving you, this Plank Pagipa has been giving you so many important activities, so many wondrous activities that are connected with my work as a Matcha Chohan of planet Earth. And you should be doing it if you really tap into it and you feel that it's for you and that it resonates with you. You should really be doing all that you are doing, and you are commended by that. And I commend you for that, but not at the expense of you telling me that you don't have like 15, 20, half an hour a day to concentrate in the maintenance of your spiritual life within, because that's where the spiritual life really resides. It's within. That's where it springs from. So if you have completely externalized your spiritual life, and you will have to do such at certain points, but never moving the core of this spiritual life from your inner world. Never do that. Some of you have done that. If you have completely externalized your spiritual life, it's really like in the wide open. It's really there for the tricksters. It's really there for the ones that would love to fool you, whether incarnated beings or non-incarnated beings. It's really there for the taking, and then you're gonna be surprised when something unannounced, when something directly opposed, or when something opposed to this spiritual life comes and takes it all. So some of you have given the keys of your life into other people's hands. Some of you have a long time ago. Some of you have it's like when you got your house, your figurative house, which is this embodiment and all the experiences that come with it. Some of you have taken the newly received keys and you didn't make a copy for yourself, and you placed the keys into someone else's hands and told them, take care of me. And but they didn't know what taking care of somebody else really means. They thought that it means to control that person every move, every step of the way. That it means to make that person abide by their wishes or their conception of what's right and wrong. And then you started being blackmailed when you started trying to retrieve some original powers for yourself, when you started trying to take back the control of your life, but then it was too late. But then you fantasized into into some level or layer that, as long as you were concentrated in the spiritual life outside, that would be all. That was all that it would take to retrieve the full powers that should have never been given away into somebody else's hands, and then you could move on. You could become a sovereign being, and that's really not like it. That's really not how it works. Like your focus on the spirit, on the outside aspect of your spiritual life should, of course, it should be there, but most of the work should always be done within. I mean, the work that, if I can call it work, the work that you do within your spiritual life. Let me rephrase that. The work, if there is any work, the work that you perform in your spiritual life that resides within that part of your spiritual life, the most important part of your spiritual life that resides within, should outdone the work done on the outside aspect of your spiritual life, which is the activities that you perform to sustain this spiritual life in your incarnation as a human. So the thing is, some of you are working more in the outside aspect of the spiritual life than in the most important aspect of the spiritual life that is always within. So, in other words, to summarize all my comment is, I think that is a good way of putting it. Where ascension does really happen, ascension always happens within the heart. You should never take all your attention or your focus from there. Ascension really happens in the heart. All else, all other things might be important aspects of the process and of the path, including activities connected with ascension that you will perform as part of you as an awakened human being on the planet. But it should never become more important. It should never become the work being done outside should never really surpass the one that has to be always happening within. What I mean by all of that, never take the focus away from your heart. Never take your focus away from your heart. You know, don't let your guard down. The dual energies, I will call it dual energies, not even dual energy. I will call it actually the duality of this world is out there around you, waiting an opportunity to ensnare you, to go right into your heart, to also sow things into your heart, as you have been trying to sow, to plant things in your heart for the last 2,000 years. It's all around. I have talked about CABAMBA. CABAMBA is all around. Those that have been to the school of CABAMBA will know what I'm talking about. It's all around. Don't use your outside work connected with your spiritual life as your shield. Your shield is you remaining in your heart. If you are there, nobody can come in there and take your place. Even if you would have given your heart up to somebody else, like they will control your heart, but in doing that, you're still in your heart. They cannot do anything about it, nothing against you. So we've talked about why I've done this reset with this channel. We've talked about a Plek Paripa. We've talked about the true harvest, and now I'm talking about exhaustion. One of the things mostly affecting awakened humans in your ascension path at this point in time in the history of humankind is exhaustion. And exhaustion is a byproduct of externalization. It has affecting Shiluma for quite a while by now, and maybe I would have wanted to have made an earlier discrimination of it. I mean, an earlier alert or be aware type of message, but now it's the right time. I've told some of you a few months ago about this process called Sabre Sombre, which started July 1st of this year, which there is like this entity, this consciousness type of being. Let's call it a force, although it's not a force, that is going through the planet and is producing many deaths, like figurative deaths and literal deaths. And the literal ones we can even see by the Israel-Hamas conflicts going on right now. But like the deaths that it's most producing are the spiritual ones. Are the ones that are not literal, and it will continue to do so. It's not a bad thing going through a death, going through some type of death process, but it's just a bit saddening when this death process is happening not out of time or in a misaligned manner, but when it's happening when it should not happen. I mean, everything that happens should happen and happens, but what I mean by that is that when there was another way, it could have happened in a different way, but you chose the death path for you. The Sabre Sombre will continue until January 14th, 2024. So let's allow Sorlau, this consciousness being that is hovering through the planet and producing the needed end of chapters for so many peoples in so many layers to end the bad paths that you might be on right now, the bad routes that they are not they're not really fruitful for you right now. But let's safeguard ourselves that Sorlau does not destroy, does not produce the death of something so valuable, so special as your ascension path, as your spiritual life. So right now, it's I'm not gonna ask you to answer some questions as an integration, as a number R at the end of this OMMUM session. I'll just ask you the only thing that I'm gonna ask you, and you don't have to answer it right now. Just disconnect from for this time being, while the fourth OMMUM live is still on. So right now, just disconnect from just disconnect from whatever your mind is thinking, connected with what you're doing for your spiritual life outside of yourself. Just disconnect from it just a bit. Whatever meditations you are planning to do, whatever workshops you're gonna planning to host, whatever it is, just disconnect from all of it. Just go back within. Just feel your heart. Just feel it, and if you feel that the inner aspect of your spiritual life, once you're there, it's very unknown to you. If you feel that the house within, it's kind of I wouldn't call it clumsy, but it's kind of everything is out of place, or you feel unusual there, or you feel not completely aligned with what's there, with the within interiors. Call the whole energy of yourself back into there, back into your spiritual life, and reclaim your rightful position as the one that always remains inside. And from there, never leaving there, you expand your spiritual life into other areas, even into the outside world. So that's the whole process in this life that I wanted to address. Just do that. Go back into your within life, into your spiritual life that resides within, mainly and always within. And now, a song will play where you just notice, where you just see if your spiritual life that resides within, that should reside within, is in need of maintenance, of a better care. And you will start doing it, and you will never lose sight of it again if you've done it, if you lost sight of it. So we do this small stop along the way before I can talk about more important things, other important things, because this here is very important in upcoming OMMUM live sessions. I am Magamus Saint Germain from Sovereign Domain, remaining in the spiritual life that resides within the heart of all of us, today and forever. Iowa via Romiram.